Hello, my darlings. Oh, I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can. Can you hear me a little bit? See, this is my issue right now. If my volumes are low, please let me know because I'm using my Yeti mic right now and I don't really have my system configured the way that I'd like it to be. Am I too loud? Am I echoing or anything like that? I have like bits and pieces everywhere for the studio that I'm building in here right now. So, you know, my headphone mic apparatus has been failing me. I've been accused of being set to people's channels because there was an echo, and it really is because I just have some broke ass headphones and I need to do better. But I have other stuff and other peripherals that I have not connected yet. So if you can't hear me right now, or if you can, HM, thank you. You said I'm good. And I'm going to count on you to let me know how my audio levels are going. Because the only thing that I can really base it on in StreamYard is, the light ring around it to see how your volume is, you know, and that's really not enough for me. I need like better than that. So, you know, when I tested this, it sounded good on my audio and film apps. Sounded okay, but I'm not sure how it's coming across on live streaming. So, you know, thank you, Alistair. It sounds great to Alistair, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Danny, if you're in the building. Thanks for being here. HM, as usual, my YouTube bae. How you doing? And Alistair, thank you for being here tonight. All right, so I have a dilemma right now, you guys, right? I don't entirely understand what an alpha man is. You know, I'm a woman, so I wouldn't understand, you know, what that goal is to be an alpha man in the first place or anything like that. But from my, you know, understanding, it doesn't exist in people. But okay, you know, let's talk about it, because I see this a lot in conscious circles and in manosphere circles about being an alpha man and the entitlement that comes along with it, you know? So like lately I've been out in the world and dating, and I've come across a few men that have asserted that they were alpha men. And like I really couldn't wrap my mind around it, because they had jobs where they worked for other people. Not sure how you're an alpha man when you got a guard card and protecting somebody else's business. Like, how does that work? You know, I just need a little bit of understanding. If somebody can explain it to me, that would be fantastic, you know? But I don't get it. And a lot of the times, you know, the alpha man proclamation comes with these bizarre conditions, you know, of who they're supposed to be. Okay, Alistair says, thank you, because I'm looking for some insight right now. Alistair says, hold up, being an alpha male is not something you say, it's something you do, it's in your being. All right, I don't really understand that. But if you want to come on here and talk about it, I'm trying to understand what it means to be an alpha male, because the dudes that are saying that they are, from my understanding of what an alpha male in nature is supposed to be, those folks aren't really performing at that level. So if you're here, or if you bounced, you know, please come on through and let me know what the hell is an alpha male. You know, I'd like to believe, well, what I know is that I am a very strong woman. And I don't know if it's necessarily inherited or by choice or inherent, but I'm not really sure what it is that these alpha men say they are supposed to do that is different from what I can do. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on right now. I really don't. I need some clarity on what alpha manhood truly is. You know, is it, you know, building enterprises or competing for resources, or, you know, instead of sitting on YouTube forcing yourself into spaces where you compete with women and their ideas, you know, as an alpha man, I would imagine you would want to compete with other men and their ideas, you know, beholden to that same logic. So I'm not really quite sure what an alpha male is supposed to be. Not even in the slightest. I unfortunately went on a date with a guy that said he was an alpha man. And this was, I agreed to go out with him prior to his assessment of himself, his self assessment that he's an alpha man, right? So I was like, all right, you an alpha man. Okay. All right, you're telling me this over dinner. It's fine. What have you. But there was nothing in his life reflective of like leadership or anything. It was just like this beating on the chest. I'm an alpha man and I have these expectations. But there's like literally nothing to support any reason why anyone should view you who doesn't know you and see you as being like this leader. Needless to say, the date got cut short. You know what I'm saying? And I was like super uncomfortable with it. All right. HM says the whole alpha male movement is a fraud. You're right, it's a fraud. Well, I can't even say you're right, it's a fraud. I'm not even going to do that right now. I'm not even going to give my opinion. I'm really just trying to learn something right now. And I've got no idea. Well, I do have ideas. You guys know me better than that. But, you know, I just want to hear some answers to it, you know? So let me see. Perhaps I should put like a hashtag alpha male in the description so I can pull up some guys, you know what I'm saying, who might be interested in hopping on here and telling me all about what an alpha male is supposed to be. I'd love to hear that right about now. You did? So let's see. My channel, who has like, I don't know, one viewer right now, it's fine. I don't really care. But I have questions. I really, like, legitimately have questions right now about this. Hold on a second. What's going on my Facebook? Okay. I should drop something in there to have people show up. Let's see. HM, why don't you come on here and talk to me and stop playing these games? You like hiding in the cut. Come on StreamYard and talk to me. I'm tired of this. Do it. There's no one here. I've got like one viewer. You should come through. Let's see. Live. How do I edit this? Okay. Description. I want to edit the description. Okay. I see where I can add the hashtags for alpha male. Alphas. I don't even know what else. What do they call themselves? Alphas. Kings. They like that. Alright, yes. Update this shit. Do that. Alright, so Tito Z is in the building. Hi, Tito.
Hey, Kels, how you doing?
What's going on, darling? Can you explain to me what an alpha man is? Because I don't really understand.
Well, to be honest with you, I cannot explain that because it's just a construct. Because an alpha male is just a person who's dominant in their sphere. Like a football player, he's dominant in his sphere. If he's
Okay.
dominant in science, he's dominant in his sphere. So it's just a construct.
It's a construct. So when it applies to like when you see like I can understand that within the context of like sports, you know, who the best player is, right? Who's strongest, who runs the hardest, who gets the job done. I get that. But within the context of like social media and regular people, what does that mean?
It means you fought. Well, I hate to say follow, but women like who women like. If you like a dude because he's physically strong or he's mentally strong, you like that. And in your arena, you choose who the alpha is. If it's a bunch of football players, you may choose one that you deem is the alpha. If you like a bunch of people who can think, you let a person in the room that can think the best. So women have all the control.
So women have the control of who chooses the alpha, right?
Yes.
So that's what you're saying. So why
Yes,
are
because
these dudes saying like I'm the alpha and they're making themselves as the point of, you know, what people should choose when they've not given a reason of why they should be chosen? You feel what I'm saying? Even if men
yes,
have not chosen them, like why do they do that?
because men want to be um catered to. We want to be seen as I'm the leader. We want to be seen as that way. If I can
Okay.
impress you with my ability to be good in sports or my ability to be smart, and I can show
Mm,
that to you in front of other men, I look like the alpha.
mm, mm.
It's all about projection. Now,
Okay,
mind
so
you, you got a dude who maybe be 5'9", and he stands against a guy who's 6'2", and he takes him down. A woman may say, "Oh wow, he's strong. He could do. He beat a dude that was so much taller than him." And some women may appreciate that, or you may have some dude that crack the code on some science stuff, and we'll be like, "Oh, he's very intelligent." It's about what the
mm.
woman chooses who is the alpha in her mind, in my opinion.
So all right, so you're in your opinion, the alpha maleness is some kind of like some kind of mind game.
Of course.
Really, it depends on what woman is, how that woman perceives that man, whether or not he is alpha. So, say for a man to state, "I'm an alpha man," you know, that's kind of like some kind of calling card for what he might be.
Yeah, I would say this. If a man say I'm an alpha male at the beginning, test it. If he said that he's the strongest, take him to the gym.
Mm.
If he say he's the smartest, take him to a spelling contest or something. Challenge challenge the theory of the alpha.
Wait. Let's go back to the spelling contest.
Okay.
If because that was good, Tito. If he is an alpha man, right, and he thinks he's an
Mm-hmm.
intellect, women should challenge him to go to a spelling bee.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
here for that.
Challenge it.
I'm
Challenge
here
it.
for that. Hi, Miss Andrea. Hi,
Because my
Rodney. Thank you for coming through.
here's my thing is this.
I'm
If
listening.
I'm screaming I'm an alpha,
Right.
what man does that? It just if you're an alpha, if you're a beta, you're a sigma, whatever it is, it just shows. I ain't gotta tell you that. But if I tell you that, prove it.
You know what? I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if you are an alpha and that's your testimony, because when I'm on these dating sites, Tito, on these dating apps, and I see, you know, alpha man, and there's really nothing behind it except the GED and a guard card. I'm just like, how and where? How does that happen? How are you an alpha male in this society when you are doing, you're being very much a peon right now socially? And I don't know if that's me being, caught up in how society works and how things function and the mechanisms of earning and sustaining and building legacy. Maybe I'm the crazy person, but I'm feeling like a dude with a guard card and a GED is not allowed to say he's an alpha male if he's living in America right now. Seriously.
Well,
I'm
I was
thinking
think,
that's kind of like low ranking. No, talk to me,
well,
Tito. Tell me what's
that's
good.
that's what I'm saying again. If the woman sees a dude who just maybe a greeter at Walmart, he can be the best greeter, but what does he bring to the table? An alpha brings meat home for the family. I don't care what your job is. As long as you take care of your family, respect your woman, you respect your kids and your family, that's an alpha.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about because I got a PhD, I got a master's degree, I got my own business, but can you function society? Are you taking
Can
care
you
of your
function in
family?
society? Yes, yes. Hello, Vesper Martini. It's good to see you. And you're right, Tito. Can you function in society? How can you label yourself as being alpha, especially if you're a black man and your
And
community is failing all around you? Like, I don't
and what
understand
are you
that.
bringing to
How
the
does that
table?
work? What are you
What are
bringing
you
to the
leading?
table? Yes.
I mean, every man wants to screen to be an alpha. Put him to the test.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a real, in my opinion, if he's a real man, he'll accept the challenge.
Correct. But that doesn't seem to be the case, does it, Tito? With the dudes that claim that they're alpha men, right? Am I bugging or not? What do you
Well,
see? What have you been seeing?
what I see is this: I don't fake the funk. I am who I am. If a woman gets with it and grooves with it, we cool. If not, I
Mm-hmm.
move on. And that's how all men should think. And women should think the same way. If I come to you bragging about what I can do, I'm talking about myself, I'm a megalomaniac.
Mm-hmm.
And put me to the test.
You said you're a megalomaniac?
No, I said I could be a megalomaniac if
Oh,
I'm
okay,
bragging about
okay,
myself.
okay, okay, okay. I got you.
Because an alpha male don't need to brag
No, 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 you're good.
or tell you I'm an alpha. What the hell does that look like? I'm an alpha. What the fuck? Where are we at? We're in a restaurant.
Say it louder for the people in the back, sir. Go ahead. What does that
So,
look like?
what does what look like? You sound
Knowing
real low.
that
I'm
you an
sorry. You sound real
alpha.
low.
I'm sorry, I might be far away. Is that better?
Say again?
Is that a little better?
Yes.
Okay. So, no, I'm just saying, say it louder for the people in the back, sir. You know,
If
screaming
you're an
that you're an
alpha
alpha in
male,
the restaurant, what good is that, right?
right, you ain't got to scream that.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the time. And if I want to be with you, Kels, I got to scream who I am. Because I want to know who you are. And who I am will come to the light.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Just present yourself without the label. Is
And
that
of
what you're
course,
saying right now?
without the label, without telling you I'm an alpha male, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
It's a construct.
It is the
It's a
construct.
construct that men have
Vesper,
said,
do I
well,
still sound far away? Because I had like an issue. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to. I'm sorry, Tito. Give me a second because I have like, as everyone knows, I'm trying to put together my studio right now and I don't know how it sounds on my boards sounds different than it does on a live stream. So like I have to kind of tinker around and figure out the audio to make sure everybody is happy. All right? So give me a second and let me pull up my input volume. Is that a little better for y'all? How's that?
It's about the same.
It's about the same. Oh wait, that's the no, input is fine. Output is the thing. How about this? How's that?
Still sound the same.
Sounds the same. What the heck? All right, how about now?
Okay, that's better.
All right, bet. Okay, Vesper, how do I sound now? I pulled up levels. Does it sound a little bit better? Because I can't really tell. It still sounds the same to you? All right. Let's work on that because I need to do that. And I appreciate you guys for being here while I do my learning lessons. Let's see. System. Oh, Vesper, you said it sounds much better? Okay, cool.
Yes,
Then I'll
yes.
leave it as it is. I'll leave it as it is. That'll be my YouTube stream level because it's all different. I thought that I'd be able to easily apply, what I know about audio to the live stream, but it's really not the same. It's very different. So, I'm sorry, Tito. Please continue. Where were you, my friend?
Well, I'll just be saying that if like I said, if we was on a date, I don't want to announce that I'm an alpha male. I want to know who you
Okay.
are, and whatever I want to be will show to you,
Okay.
and you make your own decision.
All right.
And it's up to the women to decide: is he a alpha, a beta, whatever? And why have labels? What does that matter?
It doesn't. And I don't think women really care about that, to be honest with you. You know, personally, in my opinion, I only care about, a man who is true to his word, whose actions follow his words, and he's able to maintain the sanctity of the relationship, whether it's, a romantic relationship or a marriage or what have you, but he leads in that aspect. And that's really what matters. So this is why I'm trying to figure out why so many dudes on these dating websites are talking about like, oh, I'm an alpha man. I feel like, every time I see them and they send me a message or they, like me or whatever, I block them every time because it
Well,
means absolutely nothing
well,
if you
I'll
don't
say
know
this.
me.
I'll say this. You got one life. Have fun with it. So if a dude say an alpha male, ask him in what respect.
Right.
What do you mean you're alpha? Explain yourself and see how
Explain
many.
yourself.
Explain you. What do you mean you're alpha?
Mm-hmm.
Can you beat Mike Tyson?
They usually can't. I don't think any of them can.
Yeah. I mean, because if you can explain who you are, if you say you're an alpha, explain what does that mean. You're an alpha at what?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I
Yeah,
say.
you know what? When I hear a guy is an alpha male, and I said this on my Facebook page earlier today because I posed that question to my audience. I was like, if I hear it, there are like three things that I think of when a dude is like, I'm an alpha male, right? I think one, your stroke game is fucking weak. That's the first thing
Okay.
that I think of.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
two, I think you have no goddamn idea where a clitoris may or may not be. You don't know where it
Can't find
is,
a man in the
bro.
boat.
Can't find the man in the boat. He's just licking on laps and vulva and all kinds of things. Can't find the clit. And then three, I think he's low key crushing on his homeboy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different direction, but okay.
No, but this is what I think every time I see that. Like, Oh, I'm an alpha male. What does that mean? What does that mean when you've not conquered anything, built anything, produced anything, built anything? None of
And
that.
that's why I said have fun. Ask the question. You're an alpha at what?
What are you an alpha at?
Right. What
Because
do you
if
mean?
all you can give me is just like, regurgitated stuff of what, conscious leaders are saying what an alpha man is and how that might make you feel good for being nothing, it's not good enough. So tell me what it is. Because right now, I think really you just jerking your dick off on YouTube at polite videos talking about you an
Wow.
alpha dude. Yeah, I said it, and I'll say it again. Oh, Alistair says you are not an alpha man if you live with your mama. You
Well, I can
fucking right
disagree with
about that,
that.
Alistair.
Well, how about this? How about if the dude's taking care of his mother?
That's not the same thing. And
Right.
he
It's not the
has to
same
be
thing.
like, he has to be
But
legitimately taking care of his mother. Because I've come across a lot of men who have
exactly.
like very low income, but they're living in their mama's paid for house,
Yep.
who
Yep.
is, she might be, invalid or ill in some kind of way, and they make it seem like they're doing some kind of big charity and taking care of their mama. But the bottom line is, even on her barely death riddled fucking body, where she's laying in her bed and asking for his help and whatnot, he's still living rent free. That's not alpha male shit. And y'all
Oh,
ladies out there, y'all got to pay attention to that. For real.
that is right. That is right. And that's why I wanted the clarification. Because if you're helping your mother at an aspect that she needs help, nothing wrong with that. But if you're just living with your mother and she paying all the bills for you, no. You're still a kid.
You're still a kid. Absolutely. I have stories about that, but I don't know. I think it's a some kind of message from the Lord that I shouldn't share them right now. So I won't. Anyway, but you're right though. That's not an alpha male, and a lot of those guys that attest to be aren't even living on their own. They might be staying with relatives. They might be, and this is from my recent dating experiences.
Well, the
You have
question is this.
roommates. What?
What is an alpha male to you?
I don't believe in that.
Okay, so what is a man to you? The man that you want, what does that look like?
The man that I want. What does he look like?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
That's what they call me. I'm bullshit.
Oh man. Um that might be a show for another day. But the ideal man in a nutshell for Kels is a muse. Someone that can inspire me to keep doing the things that I already do and even be a little bit better or much better than the things that I do. And
Okay.
not be jealous of it when I do those great things. That's the ideal man for Kels.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. A so-called alpha man should not be just for a woman if she wants to go out and do what she got to do. Alpha male should be supportive.
I agree. I totally agree with that. A real alpha, I can't even say a real alpha man would be this or that, because I don't think it exists in humanity unless it's put in the context of some kind of like chattel congregation like sports. You know what I mean? Or
What?
hood nigga shit. Like,
That's
I don't really
that's
see
bullshit,
it
though.
being outside of that. No, I
That's,
don't.
that's but that's bullshit. I mean, how is the only way you can be an alpha male if you can actually knock somebody on the ring, You're the top running back. You're the top linebacker. You're the best basketball. That's not an alpha. I've seen so many kids playing ball in their 30s. I'm talking about kids. They're still kids because they're not alphas. They still think on a sub-level human being's way. Because you
Well,
have,
I mean, you could feel that way if you want. I can understand that. But I think in like real context, especially when it comes to like black people intra-racial relationships, meaning black and black relationships, when they talk about alpha maledom, it doesn't exist. There's no possible way that it can. It can't.
and I bring it. Like, it's a construct. That's all it is. It's about saying I'm the best at whatever I say I'm the best at. But can you prove it?
Can
The
the
proof
alpha?
is what
No,
you say the proof.
the majority of black men can't prove that they're alpha men given the constructs of, American socioeconomic society. No. That's why I'm asking this question right now. Like, what's an alpha male outside of, being, how do I put this without being too controversial? You know what? I'll just be controversial. Fuck it.
Yeah, please.
So, there are all these black men out here in the world, and God bless them and keep them. But within the context of statistics and building black families, they ain't here. And they've been victims of a system that is alpha on them. You know what I'm saying? Where they can't be the alphas that they need to be for their own communities. So if you're in that whole scope of black consciousness and talking about being an alpha, how do you reconcile all of that? How do you do that as a black man? You know what I mean? That's the
Well,
part that I don't understand.
I don't have an answer. I really don't have an answer.
But did what
I
I
just do
say make
me.
sense to you? Yeah. Did what I say make sense though?
It does. But I just do me, and I let the chips fall where they may. Because at the end of the day, I got to be me, and she be who she is. If that's not how it's going to work, it's not going to work. If you're looking at me for and I hate to say this, but I got to say it. Some women look for an alpha male as the person who has money and can take care of them and not really be there for them. Just they have the money and they make a good paycheck.
They
That's
might
not
give a good
alpha.
paycheck.
Like there's like football players sometimes. They make a lot of money. And they're good at it. Don't get me wrong, they're good at it. We got a lot of women, I say some women, that just look for that. He's a top player. I want to be with him. But is he really a real dude?
All right, so I'm gonna like hop off of this for a second and like highlight what Alistair said. The ultimate attribute of an alpha male is that he makes his woman and family feel secure and he provides financially and emotionally. I agree with that to an extent, but not entirely. I think
What?
that, wait, hold on. I don't think you have to be a quote alpha male end quote to do that. You just gotta be a man. That's what a man does. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this alpha male label placates this presumption of manhood and what men think they're supposed to be based on other ideologies of other insecure men. And it's playing out when it comes to relationships and in the community too. You know what I'm saying? So, wait, hold on a second. Alistair, I want to know, do you agree with what I'm saying about how what you said was more about what men are supposed to do, not necessarily alpha men, in regards to emotional and physical security for like women and children. I want to know what you have to say. Thank you. All right, he said yes. Thank you, Alistair. All right. I'll see you. HM, you might have competition for another like YouTube bag. I'm just saying, baby. hmm Um, but yes. So, did you have anything else to say, Tito, in regards to that? Like, what's the difference between manhood and alpha manhood? Like, what's the difference between the two? I still don't
No,
understand.
manhood is like Alice said before, the financial security, the emotional security, and the physical security of your family. Alpha, like I said before, is nothing but a construct. Because that could be any man in the world. And the person who could take care of his family emotionally, financially, and security, that's not a construct. That's real. You can touch that. You can see that. But an alpha is just nothing but a word. What is behind that word?
I'm sorry, my mic was on mute. I'm sorry, Tito. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes. What are you
All
saying?
right. I was saying that I think that we if that's the case, then we just need to call men men for doing what they're supposed to be doing without the accolades or extra labels, you know?
All
If
right.
you're loving on your community and loving on your woman and loving on your children, then why do we need these external titles like alpha male? I don't think it's really necessary when it comes to what we're dealing with in our community. It doesn't make anything better. It doesn't make anything brighter. It doesn't make anything stronger. It's just another, I think it's really just another excuse for men to come up with a label that can't rise to the occasion. And it's
And
rife with insecurity.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Thank you. I'm just over here preaching. I'm over here preaching. Would you guys mind hanging for a second? My child is calling me. I need a minute. Tito, preacher, preach, please, and talk about black people and all of that. But I need to talk to my baby for like 1 minute. You got me?
I really can't preach. I'm really not like that. I'm drunk already. But
Oh no, you're drunk. Okay. All right, so I need somebody to come up here
yeah,
and
please bring
talk
somebody
about
in.
something so that I can call my daughter back. And that would be wonderful. Because, my kids don't really care about what time I'm on anything. I just have to
Because
be there.
I would take your whole show left. Please bring somebody in.
Matter of fact, if somebody else wants to come up, please come on up. I would greatly appreciate it. But I don't see Alistair. Who's Alistair is new. Defrauding Charlatans is here. Hey, Defrauding Charlatans. Why don't you come up here and speak your speech
Yeah,
so I can
please.
respond to my
Please.
child? That'll be really helpful.
Right now is
That's
not
the
the time
part that
for
I
me.
need to get together. That's the
If I
part that I
start
need to get
talking, it's gonna
together.
go really left. It's gonna go
Hmm.
really left.
I don't mind it going really left as long as we can like bring it back to the center. Going really left is just fine. You know? So Tito, I'm gonna have to ask. All right, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. We just Miss Andrea coming through like a champ.
There we go.
Miss
Greetings.
Andrea, yes. I'm gonna mute
Hi.
myself while you speak your speech so I can text my daughter and focus, and I'll be listening.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, my love.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are talking about alpha male. Well,
Yes.
my thought to that is if you are something, you don't have to tell me. I'll see it.
I agree.
Oftentimes when people beat their chest and tell you they are something, that is because they want to be it and they're unsure about who they really are.
Right. I can't hear you. You're muted. Miss Jackson, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Hey, Miss Jackson, you still there? Now I got this dead silence. I can't even fill this shit up. Come on, Miss Jackson. I need you. Okay.
So,
Now I can hear you. Now I can't. Miss Jackson, come on. Can you fix it? All right. Well, like I said before, it's like 6 people watching, I guess. But we said it before that I really believe that being an alpha male or stating that you're alpha male is nothing but a construct. It's nothing because what are you an alpha? What are you in charge of? What are you the best of? Everywhere you go around preaching that you are an alpha, that means you're the best at where you're at. If you're the best everywhere you go, nobody should question you. There should be no questions at all. But if you get challenged to present yourself as an alpha, you must show and prove that is who you are. And not only being an alpha is saying that I'm the best, I can lead other people. Because the alpha is the leader of a wolf pack. I teach others how to be the best at who they are. Now, if you're going to a woman and they're saying I'm an alpha, what are you really saying? You just trying to shoot your shot. And every man shoots their shot. Don't get me wrong on that. We all shoot our shots. And sometimes we get shot down. But that's part of the game.
Right. I got you on that.
Now, in my thinking, an alpha is a dude that will shoot his shot. A beta won't shoot his shot because he's scared to talk to a girl. That's it. Alpha, beta. The alpha will shoot his shot, the beta won't.
That's
But
the
that
only
brings nothing.
difference.
That brings nothing to the table.
It doesn't. It's all hot air essentially. Right.
Of
Oh, hold on.
course,
Here's Andrea. Thank you for coming back, sis. But
I'm
it's all
sorry.
hot air.
it is because if I
I
go
might
to
be in a bad area.
It's okay, honey.
if I go to the club And
Can
I
you
want to
guys
thank
hear
yeah,
y'all
me?
for holding me down. I do appreciate it.
Might be.
she didn't hold you down. She got away.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you
yes,
fine.
yes. But what I was saying is this: if I go to the club and if it's me and another dude, and we see a woman that we like, we want to approach. If he doesn't approach her and I do, in our own minds, I'm the alpha, he's the beta, because he didn't approach. That's all that is. That's it.
That's
Nothing
that's
more,
that's
nothing less.
sad. That's sad because you know that I guess so the alpha beta stuff is within your own dynamic, but it
It is.
literally has nothing to do with community building.
I agree with that. All I'm saying is this: if a dude is scared to approach a girl, we look at him as being a beta.
Hold on a second. If you'd like to be a mod in my live, please hit the one button and I'll put you on. I don't want to give anyone any added pressure, but I appreciate everyone for being in the chat right now. So if you'd like to be a mod, hit the one and I will make you a mod. Thank you. All right, so you were saying, Tito.
That alpha beta stuff has to do with men, how men see each other. If
Mm-hmm.
if a man does not approach a woman to ask her to dance, to even buy her a drink, ask her her name, then we say that, oh, he's a beta. If I'm an alpha, I'm actually your name, where you from, what you do, what's your interest. No, like, no, I'm get to know you because I'm aggressive enough to do that. And you get to
Okay.
choose whether you want to hear me or not. You get to choose. That alpha beta stuff, that's a whole male thing.
Okay, hold on a second. I would like to welcome the esteemed Stephanie Collins into the building. Honey, driving the sector, Stephanie Collins.
I'll be right back.
Oh, are you leaving? Okay. Stephanie, thank you for coming into the building. Um, and you're hold on a second. Let me put this. Hold up. Wait? Let me go back to StreamYard and put your thing up here. Stephanie Collins says that woman's gonna walk over to me. Stephanie, you goddamn right, and let me tell you why. But I think you already know why. Because we both belong to the same community. As I've been called out unnecessarily on fucking lives about the community that we're in, but what have you. But these dudes that come weak limping and saying they're about something and they're about nothing, those women, they end up coming over here every time. Every time. And it's so easy. It's so easy. I don't think like alpha males, the quote unquote alpha males end quote, realize how easy you make it for women like me and Stephanie Collins to, take over. I'm just saying though. All right, so Dr. Love Jones is in the background. Let's add him to the stream. Hey, Dr. Love.
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well right now. I'm so happy to see you here. I've always had a lovely time speaking with you.
Same as well. Like that's why I come up. I don't go on everybody's platform. So when I show up, it's because I enjoy conversation and I really want to be able to add value to the convo of what's going on.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so for one moment, Tito, I'd love to hear what Dr. Love has to say
All right. So
about what an alpha male is because I'm trying to understand it.
So alpha male. Okay, so here's the thing you gotta understand that there are more than just alpha and beta males. There's actually gammas, there's sigmas, the there's zeta. It's a whole bunch of characteristics. When you think about alpha male has nothing to do with just it's the idea of being first, being the dominant role, taking charge. That's the qualities of alpha male. The goal of an alpha male is to be the number one, be the main. Those what makes alpha males. Um, Now, just like with any person, there are toxic traits that comes with wanting to be that dominating figure, want to be that strong figure. Sometimes, if you're not doing the healing work yourself, that those toxic traits can show out. But that's pretty much the basis of what an alpha male are, what alpha male is.
I still don't think that I understand. I'm sorry.
So, okay, so what are you not understanding?
I mean, like, what is different? Okay, so I feel like by all intents and purposes of the definition of what an alpha man can provide, and me as a bisexual woman, I don't understand why what I can provide is any different from what they can claim to provide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really get that. Like, I don't understand what it is. Like, I can do all of those things that like y'all attest to do. So
Well,
what makes you guys better?
I can
Well,
say this.
Or what
It's
make
well,
you,
like
I won't say better. Better is the wrong word. What makes you guys more valuable and more, not necessarily you two, but you know what I'm saying in terms of these dudes out here saying I'm an alpha dude. Like, what can you do that's really better than what I can do? If I make a sizable income, if I can take care of a woman the way that she wants to be taken care of, like, I don't really understand what y'all offer.
well, Doc Jones is right. He's what he said was right because the alpha male wants to be the first person to jump out there. What I said with my club scenario is that the alpha male will approach the woman first. The beta male will sit back, but it's nothing what you bring to the table. But what you said, the value. The value is this.
Mm-hmm.
Not value. It's just that we look at each other. Who is strong amongst men? Women don't have to see that at all. It's a man thing. If Dr. Jones want to sit back and I speak, then I like an alpha. If I sit back and he speaks, he like an alpha. It's all about perception amongst men. I'm just giving an example.
Mm-hmm.
so and to add to what he said
Well,
is,
before you go, Dr. Love Jones, I want to
go
say
ahead.
hi to Max because he showed up in the building.
What's good, Max?
Hello, Max. And Max, if you want to hop on and dispute, it's really not a hate men live. It's like understanding what the fuck are these dudes talking about being an alpha male when they don't do alpha male things. You know what I'm saying? And this is my question because I've been on dating apps lately and I'm seeing, oh, I'm an alpha male in the description, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean when you got a guard card? How the fuck are you really an alpha male? Like, what are you contributing to the culture, the community, like to the growth? Like, what makes you an alpha male? So it's not a man hate live. It's more about an understanding of what's happening in our community with men and how they kind of define themselves at this point. Because, like I said earlier, I I can do everything that dudes do. Not necessarily that I want to, because a lot of times I don't, but I have to as a black woman. You know what I mean? But I don't understand how that makes them separate and puts them in this position where they can label themselves as being something alpha. It's not a man hate live. It's always love here. Always. Thank you and good night.
I,
So,
but
Max, I'm gonna put the link up if you want to come in and holler because I would love to hear from you.
but
So you were saying, Doctor Love.
yeah. What I want to say is that first off, I, alpha men don't have to brag and be alpha. Alpha is about your actions, not what you say. So if you see
Okay.
in posts where people saying I'm an alpha male, then that's something you should keep. You should have a wide eye up for because no, the alpha men that I know don't have to say they're alpha men. It's in their actions, it's the way they move. From because once you know, like for me personally, I look at you could tell like yo, when a person's like, all right, this person's alpha. They move a certain way. Their energy is a certain way. They act a certain way. That's what makes an alpha. Now, one of the things I don't like to do is that, yeah, I recognize you say you're a
No, wait a
bisexual.
second. Hold up, hold up. Max is saying he. Hold up. He won't come back. I don't understand why. Come back, Max. I value your opinion. That's weird. Very much so, more than most. And you're good. Okay. Peace. All right. So that's what it is. All
Now
right.
I
So
would
we
say
see that
this,
right there. I
Dr.
didn't want
Dr.
that to be
Jones,
what it is, but I do
Dr.
value
Jones,
what you have to say, Max. Come on, B. This is not cool.
but Dr. Jones agreed with what I said before. Alpha male doesn't have to announce his presence. He doesn't do
Absolutely,
that. He doesn't do that. It's already
absolutely.
he just sits there and enjoys what's going on.
You know, and so like I feel like what's going on in these discussions and why I decided to hop on is that I don't want women to have just because you see a misrepresentation of a certain characteristic means that there's an issue with the characteristic and not the misrepresentation of the characteristic. So, well, we are, and this is why it's better to have these dialogues as men and women. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know that as a man, when I say something, I'm not trying to when I'm speaking as a man on certain issues, my job is not to point out, okay, there's an issue with being alpha man. No, that's just a trait. The issue is not them being alpha men. It's about how they're going about expressing their alpha ways. And if you're misrepresenting what an alpha male is, then that's where the issue lies.
If you're misrepresenting an alpha male situation, that's where the issue lies.
Absolutely. Because alpha male is not that. Here's the thing, right? As much I as I was going to say is you as you say you're a bisexual woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you recognize you are a woman,
Yes.
and from an energy scale, you in tune with your feminine side. You may also have understanding of your masculinity as well, because
Correct.
as human beings, we both have. As a
Okay.
man, I have masculine and feminine energy. This
Okay.
is why we take
An alpha male
say
doesn't. As an alpha male, you ain't got to say it. You don't announce it. You just see
no,
it.
and I'm with you on that. And the point that I want to make with what I'm saying with everything is this: there's no I I can do everything what an alpha male can do as a woman because there's not anything a man can do that an alpha woman can't do as well. You know, there's no comparison because yeah, because the characteristics is not lying about actions. It's lying with the character mixed with the action, mixed with the who they are and being in tune with who they are. It's not just okay. I'm an alpha male. I do this. It's who I am. It's natural. I don't even think about it. That's what makes it alpha male is the fact that they're not thinking in the terms of okay, they're trying to just show off and let people know they better than everybody. That's just how they're naturally wired.
Right. So we should change your name to Reverend Love Jones. Because you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We don't go out here and say, I'm an alpha, I'm this, I'm that. We don't do that. We don't sit down and think about it. As Stephanie Collins said, we don't think about that.
So that's
Why?
where.
Why would you? Seriously though, like, but you know what? I'm learning. I'm learning. I've already like scared Max off the page, whatever. I'm sitting here to learn about what the fuck an alpha male is supposed to be. So I'm gonna put my mic on mute and let y'all brothers speak.
But I got a question though. I got a question.
All right, I'm listening.
What's the fascination of learning what alpha male is opposed
Because
to other types of male?
no, because I've been using these dating apps recently, and a lot of the guys in their bios put alpha male. So I'm trying to understand what that means.
That's a trope. That's a
That's a
trope to try to
trope.
reel you in.
Facts.
They
Facts.
want you to see themselves. Oh, you said alpha male. You're gonna click on my picture. You're gonna click on my stream. You're gonna get in my DM because they want to holler at you, and they will say they're alpha male, but once again, make them prove it. You're alpha at what?
So, and to be honest, right? I here's where I don't like is that we tend to um we tend to tell people like to jump on this wave of being something, like being something outside of that is wrong. So like I've seen conversations where if you're a beta man, you're considered weak, and I think that's not right either because it's all about perspective and how you do things. And if you are naturally not an alpha, that's fine. Love who you are, embrace who you are.
What does
For
that
me,
mean though? Like naturally not an alpha. What does that
because
mean?
some people don't have that natural instinct to be first or to dominate or be the best.
Right.
Some
Like I said,
people just some people are just cool with chilling and being all right. Some people are just cool with just coming in and allowing other people to excel, and they just be the supporting role.
and
You
once
know,
again, that alpha beta stuff, that sigma stuff, that's all a male thing. It's the woman who chooses who she wants to be with. At the end of the day, you have the choice. You, Kels, you have the choice about what kind of man you want to be with. The man who wants to be aggressive, or the man who wants to sit back and play the kickback scene, which is all fine because in his own right, he's his own alpha. You got
I'm
to
not
see between the
I'm
lines.
not speaking for like myself and what I want to be with because I have certain proclivities that I require
What I mean you per se.
per
I
se.
was talking
But
to
you
you
can
in
say for
general.
women, say women in general.
I would say women in general.
All right.
The woman at the end of the day chooses who she wants to be with. And that man to another man could be a beta, but to her, that's her alpha. At the end of the day. This whole thing about alpha, beta, sigma, whatever it want to be, it's all tropes. It doesn't matter at the end of the day as long as that woman is happy. As long as that man can do what he has to do. At the end of the day.
yeah, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's all about character, right? And when we think about these different ideas of what it is, it's all ideas in this. Like for me, when I identify as a sigma male, like I don't I operate in a different space than the idea of alpha male, or I don't see myself as alpha or beta. I'm more of a sigma. But regardless of that, as Heal just said, is at the end of the day, it's about results and being the person that's needed for that woman, the woman that wants that man. And if he's the right person, whether it's alpha, sigma, gamma, long as he's that person, that's truly the meaning of it. I don't need to put I'm a sigma male on my page to make it sound something or whatever. Because I don't operate like that.
All
I
right, so
want
you
you to get to know me and then you determine whether what you see in me. Because at the end of the day, it's what you see in me that matters. I can say I'm this, I'm that, all I want. I can identify with all that I want to. Doesn't change the fact that if I'm dating a woman, it's it's at the end of the day is what you see in me, not what that woman see in me, not what I'm saying I am.
so let's put alpha male into the context of the conscious community. All right, you did. What is that about? Do you guys have any ideas or perceptions about it?
I'm gonna go back to what I said before. It's somebody a construct. Uh,
Construct.
somebody, somebody say they are alpha, a sigma, a beta. I identify by none of those. I am who I am, and the woman who chooses to pick me, she picks me for who I am. And in her world, if she'll put a alpha, a beta, a sigma on it, that's up to her. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I take care of business,
Okay.
and that's what it's about.
So this is what I've learned thus far this evening is that alpha male is a trope and a label and it's inconsequential and it means nothing in regards to anything involving with community building or interpersonal relationship building. Am I correct?
Yeah, in the black
I, di-
community,
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I feel like everything has a value because it's still a
Hey, Sable Do.
so it's like this, right? You want to know what type of personality you're dealing with because these are personality traits. This is what it is, right? And the trope is that you could be only solely one thing opposed to solely another thing, right? You can be a little bit alpha, you could be a little bit beta, you could be a little bit sigma. It's not necessarily you're all one or other one. So it's really comes down to it's pretty much personality traits, and those personality traits do play a role in how they go about doing what they do. But at the end of the day, it's where the insignificance of that comes in is that if a if a motherfucker is not doing the healing work on themselves, then they're gonna come off toxic. If a person is not doing the work on themselves, whether they're alpha, beta, whatever, if they're not doing the work on themselves, they may not be the right persons that you need in your life from a personal relationship, or they might not have the right characteristics that can build a community.
I don't know.
now
I
I will
feel
say
like
this.
okay. No,
Now
Tito, go, be great.
I'm
I'm
gonna
here.
say this because he said something very true. A man can be all those things: an alpha, a sigma, a beta. All those characteristics are in that one person. But at the end of the day, the woman still has to choose what that man is bringing to the table. And we all know when you first meet a woman, she's not meeting who you really are. She meets your representative.
That's
And
facts.
if she engages representative, you gotta produce who you really are. And if you can't, kick his ass to the curb. Kick him to the curb. If I come to you and say, look, I own this business, that business, but I don't own those businesses, I'm a fucking liar at the end of the day. I can sit here and bump my chest and say I can beat Mike Tyson, I can beat Wilder, I can beat Tyson Fury, but at the end of the day, put me up to a fight. But at the end of the day, once again, women have the choice of the man who will be everything: an alpha, a beta, a sigma, as long as he brings things to the table. If I bring things to the table, I can be anything you want me to be: an alpha, a beta, a sigma.
I'm not
As long
sure.
as at the end of the day, I make you happy. and I provide.
I'm not sure if women are aware that there is a difference. Um, and I see what.
Kels, you sound much lower than you was just
I'm so.
now.
How about now? Is that better?
A little
Is
bit
that
better.
good?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right, because I had to get closer to my mic. I got to get used to this because I'm still setting up my studio space to do like cammed up lives. So bear with me, you guys. I'm still learning about the YouTube process. But I I think that women will believe what they hear from an individual person that they've for some reason felt something for. Whether he is quote alpha and quote beta and quote sigma, what have you, they're just gonna love who they love. So I'm not really sure if that's even an explanation. Like, he's I don't think that's it right there. My issue right now is like it seems like within the black conscious community, the alpha male label is turning into something has been created to be something oppressive in the black community as
But
opposed to being something that involves building it or loving on it or supporting it. As an individual black male, you put that in your profile, you say it, I got all this and that and the third. But brother, you got a whole ass guard card and it's not really hitting like that. You can't really do nothing. We can't even buy a house together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I don't know, but I really feel like this whole alpha male thing is detrimental to black male excellence because it's centered in mediocrity when all of
I got
these
a question.
dudes are calling like, all right, good.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I got a question because you equate alpha male and the black community together as one.
I do because it's prevalent.
Why does it be an alpha male?
Um, that's what I'm asking you guys. Like, what is this whole labeling going on with this? It's like a weird pseudo empowerment based on this label.
all right,
So is your focus mainly on can a black person, a black man or black woman help elevate the black community more than just the trope of the alpha?
That, you know what? You brought it up right there. The problem is the trope of the alpha. And I
yeah,
think it's detrimental.
yeah. So the his here's where you got to look at this. Anytime you're speaking on the conscious community, you already know what level of toxicity you're dealing with because you're dealing with community that's not doing the healing work. They're only preaching knowledge and power. But what good is having all the knowledge and all that power if you don't know how to not hurt yourself in the process with it? See what's going on in the conscious community. Don't need to really go deeper into discussions like that. So that's one thing you cannot do is build the standard bearer of community building on the idea of what the conscious community has been putting out there. And I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about individuals who are conscious. I'm just talking about the community, the prevalent people of that community and what they represent. They don't talk enough about healing. They talk about knowledge and growth and learning. And it's
Agreed.
good to learn, but
Agreed.
what good is learning about all the history and all the information if you're neglecting who you are itself?
And
Well, I would say
healing.
this. I would say
Healing
this.
yourself, yes?
Exactly.
The word conscious, the conscious community, that word conscious has been um it's been it's diluted. It's like saying that because I have knowledge of ancient Africa, of all the religions. But once again, what are we doing for ourselves today? If we're so conscious, why are we not building schools, having economic meetings, having people buy land, building businesses? Showing, I mean, to me, that's conscious. If I say,
Well,
look,
there,
she got a
but
business, you got a business. I'm
We're
teaching this
doing all of
school.
those things, though. We're doing
but
But
yeah,
them.
those
but
things are being
but
done.
Yeah, we're doing those things. I don't understand why
but
you.
but it's not being brought to the forefront. When I see the
It's
conscious community, it's always arguments about Egypt. It's all about religion. It gets me nowhere in the so-called conscious community.
no,
But
it's
that's
not
why
going
but
to.
that's why you gotta learn to subscribe to things that don't serve your greater good. Because I don't watch what they do in the community no more because of those same reasons. I don't feel like this progressive conversation is just regressive, you know, knowing knowledge and all of this knowledge but not knowing about self. So but to get to the point with um the thing is this, right? Last time we talked, one of the last times we talked, I talked about men being the prize. And I'm about men empowerment and men doing better for ourselves. But doing better for ourselves does not mean demeaning or belittling the women. It's actually we're, here's how healing works. And I'm speaking to all men, right? When you heal, you become the reflection to the women, meaning that the moment that you do the healing work, the woman that's interested in you, that's in your life, they're gonna start to see this themselves and need to see that they need to do the healing on themselves as well. That's what being a prize is about, is doing the work on yourself so that you can encourage the women to do the work on themselves so that we both can be better for each other. This idea of coming in and talking about alpha and being an alpha male and all of that, using the trope. There's the personality and there's the trope. The trope is the problem, and the reason why is because people are loving this. They're romanticizing the term alpha, but don't really truly understand what it really means, and they're making it seem like that's the only thing that matters above any other personality trait, and that's why I don't rock with.
Defrauding charlatans, thank you for coming in. I think you have some background noise coming in that the audience is hearing. So, somebody does. No, defrauding charlatans is on mute. Does anyone hear noise right now, or is everyone good? Because I want to make sure.
The noise is gone now, but
The
I didn't
Noise
noise
is
hear
is
it when
gone.
it came
gone.
in.
The noise is gone. Okay. So, I think defrauding charlatans timed himself out, and that's cool. While he gets his audio situation together.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you for
Hey, what's
joining.
up? Hey, what's
Thank
up, Kels Lab and
you.
everybody that's on the panel tonight and in the chat?
What's good? What's
What's up? What's
good?
up?
Nothing much. I was just heading into the car real quick. So that's why you heard all that. I'm
Yeah,
on the
and
main street.
you're a little broken up as well. Like I can hear the digital twang in your audio right now.
Wow,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
No, you're okay. Right now there's no background noise, so please speak.
Okay. Does it sound any better now? I got the
Nah,
phone
you
a little
good.
bit
You good.
further away.
You're good.
Yeah,
Um,
keep talking.
so here's what I wanted to say. I'm gonna take it back a couple seconds real quick, or a couple minutes actually. But when it comes down to alpha males, I have a very unpopular opinion about it. And it's because in our particular spaces, we all believe that there's a such thing and there's a concept of an alpha male. However, from what I understand about science, the man that came up with the concept, his name was Albert Meach. He observed that in wolves had a pack mentality where there was one male that was the dominant male, and he believed that to be an alpha male. So then he came up with the concept of there being an alpha male in pack culture. He later on found out that that wasn't true. He found out that those were not alpha males. The reason that the other wolves had listened to him is because he was a parent. So what happened was is there is no alpha male or alpha pack leader in wolves. He tried to get that book discontinued and he tried to refute his first statement and tell everybody, hey, what I told you before was wrong. I didn't do it right. I actually observed the animals in the wild and I found out quickly that there's no alpha male in wolves. But people continued to move along with that statement and move along with that idea. And they started saying that, yeah, you know, there's an alpha male and this person and that person. But the thing is that even in the other animal is the chimpanzee, right? The chimpanzee has an alpha male structure. However, that's not our closest relative, as we know. So the thing is again that the closest elephant, I'm sorry, it's the closest kind of animal to us, I believe they said was it's another kind of primate anyway. But this particular primate has a matriarchal society. So it's a matriarch. So basically they switch it between who leads and who follows. Just like in real life, you're never the same individual in every situation. It is impossible for you to be an alpha male in every situation. You are not a rigid person, you are an ever-changing person and you adapt to your environment constantly. That's human nature. So what happens is are you an alpha male if you pride yourself on being the strongest? What happens when you come up against somebody like Mike Tyson? Are you still the alpha male? At that particular point in time, you're not. If you say you're the most intelligent and that's what you pride yourself on, if you go against Neil Tyson deGrasse, are you still the alpha male? So what I'm saying is that there's going to be plenty of situations where you cannot subjugate other people. Just because you're the alpha male in one particular situation, you would not be the alpha male in another situation. But again, that whole concept of alpha male doesn't exist in the first place. But we did create a social society in our community where we believe that leadership is alpha male. We take the word alpha male and we apply that to leadership. But even with that, that's toxic leadership. A true leadership comes down to the fact of when you're able to lead as a support. The best leaders are support leaders, leaders who support their men and their servant leaders. Those are your best leaders because they care about the people that's around them, so they take care of them. Our closest animal relative does that exact same thing. They take care of the people around them, therefore they become the lead. And it's the same thing with the human race. So that is what I would have to say about the alpha male construct versus the regular manhood and all the rest of that stuff. I just 100% don't believe in there being an alpha male culture. I can't even compare it to anything because the thing that it was based off of was found to be false by the person who invented it.
Hey, yo, DC, I agree with you.
Not that I agree or disagree. I respect the information that you put out there. I
It was
look
good.
at things. I look at things from. You made a great point. You can never be one thing in every situation. That was kind of the point that I was making earlier. You can't, like when I said earlier, I said I identify with being a Sigma. That doesn't mean I'm a Sigma in every situation.
That's
There's
what he said.
situations where, there's situations where I will tap into my alpha side. There's times I'll tap into my beta side. Like
But that's what he
it's all
said.
about.
He said that.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with what he's saying.
Okay.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm agreeing with that part because
Okay.
is that so I agree with majority of what you're saying. I just think that at the end of the day, it exists. Just when I look at the start of something being an idea, there's a level there's a level of consciousness that comes with every idea. So sometimes a person might have the wrong application of it, but doesn't mean the whole system is wrong. So I feel like the inventor might have used an idea from a false construct of what it means to be. Because at the end of the day, being an alpha, the alpha is just a Greek letter for being first. So a person who strives and always looks to be the first person and will be the best at or be at the top, that's an alpha trait. A person who's good with supporting, that's a beta trait. A person who's not trying to compete, they not looking at being at being on top or being as good. They're doing their own thing. That's a sigma. So these are different labels for these different traits. So I wouldn't say that the whole thing don't exist or is false. I just think that there need to be a better way of applying it and not thinking because you are alpha, you're a leader. Because as you did say, the best leaders are support leaders, the people that can support the people, not just person who can lead and dominate. So leadership, you have to be able to adapt to the different styles of leading because that's what makes the great leaders, those who can adapt.
I agree. And I would also say that when you say the alpha trait of me first, my only problem with that is within a black community or what we're trying to build, like she said, it's not a very conducive thing to build with. Because in a situation where you want to be alpha and you want to be first, right? You want to be the first one to get everything. A person who wants to be first and always wants to be the individual is selfish. Selfishness does not breed for cohesion. It actually breeds for diversity. It breeds for separation. So like one of my best examples that I could use as a testimonial is when I went to basic training, my whole thought process was me first. I got to be the best. I got to be the one that's in charge. I got to be the one that's in control. I got to make it to be an honor grad. Because I had that thought process and I had that mentality, what happens is it was me first, everything. I had to learn everything before everyone else. I had to be the best at everything that everyone else could not be. But the problem with that is that when you have that mentality, other people get subjugated and oppressed along the way. And when they get subjugated and oppressed along the way, that can be mentally breaking for some people. I hate to say this, but this is one of my worst nightmares ever, like in real life. And I think back to it during basic training, I was such a heel or such a dominating person that there was a person that would have a nightmare every night about me, and he would go yelling my last name. And I will kid you not, I still to this day think about that. And I was like, wow, I don't know who it was because the bays are so big, but he would call out my name, and I'd be like, man, do I make him that afraid? And that bothered me. But the ideal was is that I still got to be first. I still got to be domineering. I still have to make my goal. I made my goal. It's a very difficult one to make. But the thing is once again, along that way, certain people's will and certain people's admirations, their aspirations, their dreams, their inspirations, they get crushed along the way when you have someone that has that me first personality. I told myself from that moment after I graduated, I would never do that again in a leadership role. Never. Because it destroyed so many kinds of bonds and links within that particular group. Later on, I became a person that was more of a supporting leader where I actually listened to people, cared about people. It wasn't me first, it was them first. It was us first. It was team first. When that became the thing and that became my focus, that's something you can build with. You can't build with a primary me first. I'm the strongest, I'm the fastest, or I got to be the most successful. That is not a building. That is a destructive force, if you get me.
I got you. But DC,
I,
DC,
ho-
DC, I got a question real quick. DC, what was your MOS?
AFSC, Air Force,
Oh, okay. I was Army.
Aerospace Propulsion.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I was telecommunications. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. Being a military construct is different than in a civilian construct. We have to agree upon that.
Oh, yeah, that is also true. The stress is way different.
It's way different.
So I agree with you, and then I got also ask this question, right? So every environment requires a different style of leadership, right?
I also agree with
And
that.
so I'm not saying being the me first guy has its value. It doesn't always have that value
Agreed.
because there was a part of that story where you were saying that a person was having nightmares and their will was being broken because of your attitude. What went through my mind is how the fuck is that your problem? and
Nah,
and
I get what he's saying because
no, but
no,
no.
no,
I give hold up. let me finish real quick because I get what you're saying. I'm not saying you have a right to feel that way because when you're because at the end of the day, right? If you got six men that's with you and you need all six of these men to feel confident, to feel strong, to feel like they can be a part of this and do this. Because you only got this six men to complete this mission or whatever. And if you're that dominant, I'm gonna go there and kill it. And in the process, if they feel any form of no, they will get broken. They feel like they can't compete, they can't keep up, and they drop off. The mission is going to be it is going to most likely fail because you have one or two people who feel like they can't keep up. So there is a definitely need to have full participation with everybody in certain environments. So what you said, I do agree with, but I also do go to the other side of thinking is that for me, I've never been that weak-willed person. I've always felt that if see myself being the best at something, I'm going to express it, but I'm not going to express it as like so. Example I want to give is that a few years ago, I did training to be a flight attendant, right?
Hmm.
So for me, right, my job is when I'm very good at learning things and applying it quickly. So the test, I was the best student in there. I got the information very quickly. I passed all my tests and everything from an informational standpoint. And then now there are times where we have to do demonstrations. So it's like, all right, if we got to do certain things that we got to do on a flight. So sometimes we simulate like a flight in the air and what are the certain tasks we got to do, whether it's doing the safety demonstration, whether it's serving food to the passengers on the flight. We had to simulate those experiences. Every time they said, all right, who's going to go first? It was me. I did that for two reasons. Number one, I rather go first because I rather see how much I could get right without seeing everybody else doing it first. And I'm
Hmm.
strong enough to take that pressure so that nobody else feel like they can't take that pressure. And for me, those are leadership traits because I'm not doing it because I want to show off to everybody. That's not what my MO. My MO is because I want to prove something to myself and I want to be able to see how well I deal with pressure in a situation where I'm dealing with it firsthand. And there was times where I would go up there and I would get it done. And there's times I go up there and I wish I didn't go first and see somebody else make the same stupid mistake that I just made. But the truth is, that's a trait. And I feel like at the end of the day, knowing who you are, there's a time and place for everything. You don't, there's a time to be that dominating presence, but it's also time to support your people.
Okay,
Right.
now
And
let's say this. I want to say this. Now, Kels, you got three men in this room. Three men who
I do.
actually exhibit alpha traits. Not even saying we're alpha, but we're talking about our own experiences as being dominant
I would
without
just see
even
it
saying that we're
as
alphas.
no. I just see that as you guys being men. I
No,
don't
but we
see
all we
how.
all explain we all explain how we did well and excel in our own experiences,
Hmm.
and that's what alpha males do around alpha males
Yes, but
outside the female construct.
hmm
Now, when I say the construct of the female, is that if in our own little spaces, we're talking about our own little journeys, our own experiences. But when we come back to a woman, then we all got to decide who's going to approach her,
okay,
who's
I
going to
see
do
it
that.
now. All right.
But we all talking about machismo.
Mm.
DC's about how he was an honor graduate, I was an honor graduate, and Reverend Love Jones talking about he was on his plane going first. We all talk about our own experiences
Hmm.
in our own little bubble,
I
and I
just
think
see you as individual men being men. I'm not
Yeah, and
still not understanding the alpha title though. That's the
see,
problem. Like
see,
why isn't it just y'all being men? I don't get
well, here's the
that.
thing.
Because not all men does
Lose,
that. That's why.
lose that thought. Don't think about the alpha thing anymore. Throw that
No,
away.
but to answer your question, not all men is like that.
That's true, but continue.
So
I
so go ahead, y'all go ahead.
okay. I'm gonna interject for a second. I don't think that we should use the term anymore of alpha. I think instead the word is extraordinary. So extraordinary men or extraordinary women or
No,
extraordinary
no,
people.
brother. No, 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 no. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you being great. It's you being fantastic. It's you doing these things. You
Without a
as a
label. Without a
man,
label. Without a label.
without the labels. That's what that is. You know what I'm
Y-
saying? Because when you put that alpha male thing on top of it, it's a lie. Because given the grand scheme of everything that's happening within the world right now, you hear me?
Hmm.
But see,
Well,
what
Kel, well,
what
Kels,
you do what you do personally and in your interpersonal relationships is not alpha. It's just you being a man, and that is enough. That's a fucking enough.
oh, you got it. So, Kels,
but
at the end of the day, what do you want from a man?
It's not about what I want from a man. I'm just asking a question right now.
so
Okay,
okay, so here's my point though,
All
right?
right, go.
Uh, Everything has a label to it. So, and the reason why you label is because you find commonality amongst a group. So, if you find out of 50 people, you have 10 of these 50 people who are the top of their game doing what they're doing with this stuff, they're going to get a label. If you find the next 15 that is not, that's right in the middle, they're going to have a label and so forth and so forth. So when you say alpha or as DC said about extraordinary men, it's not talking about, okay, it's yes, we're doing things as our own as an individual, but as a collective, we're doing a lot, and that's where it is. Think about the term talented tenth come from.
Or cream of the
It's
crop.
the talented tenth speaks for the wealthy black men who represent the 10%. So they're speaking about particular people, and that's where the label come from. So I don't think so. When you say it's just being men, no, it's being a certain fabric of a man. It's being certain characteristics, and it's not just on an individual. You're doing what you have to do, of course. As an individual, we're doing what to do, but on a macro level, it's like, all right, you have about this person doing about the same thing they're doing for themselves. You have these individuals over here. These are this type of trait. So whether we could sit here and argue, and my argument is not to sit here and say well that alpha is the right term or beta or whatever, because to me I don't have no emotional ties to those. I just use the traits. But to say that it's not a label, it's just men being men, is not truly accurate.
I feel like I still don't have understanding about what this means.
so ask the right question.
Really.
What's the right question?
I think I know what you're talking about. So
Please.
what I believe is that people are using the generic term of alpha, right? But I believe that what they mean to say is their characteristics, like being ambitious, having drive. I think that is what they're trying to get across. But of course, a lot of people don't know what the hell alpha means in the first place. A
No,
lot of
they
people
don't.
don't understand what that term insinuates. They don't understand that even when, if we were to say that the pack lead thing was real, right? If we said the thing in wolves were real, what an alpha means in those terms is that when I sit down, I'm the first one that eats. Everybody else waits. They wait until I tell them they can eat. If I
And
take a
that's an
dog off the
alpha.
leash, he looks back at me because
Right.
he's looking for my approval to say, yes, you can go ahead. That is what an alpha truly is. But people have got that misconstrued with the idea of
That's
ambitious.
not even what an alpha truly is, though. Well, you know what? Yes, actually, it is. On a very base, rudimentary, hungry, visceral, very literal, subhuman level. That's what being an alpha male is. Did I get my food first? Yes, that's what it is. But
Right.
within the context of the black community, I'm not really seeing how any of this is beneficial. Even you can do it within your interpersonal context with your wife or your girlfriend and the children that you share and try to do that. But how does that affect the betterment of the black community as a whole? Don't get it. Like, I'm still
That's
sitting over here, like, right now, like, I hear these bits and pieces of what black men are supposed to do when we're literally in a crisis right now. When
what
when
Kels,
wait, because I put my mic on mute for a minute. Y'all notice that, right?
yes.
Yes.
That literally right now, black women and black girls have been killed 200% plus the rate of black men at the hands of police in domestic violence situations. So I'm trying to figure out how that alpha manhood fits into the equation and how it fixes things, because I don't see it and I don't understand it. And all I see is a blurb in a bio right now about being something of somebody of note, of worth, when the data and the logistics show that that ain't the case right now. Sisters are dying left and right. Left and right now. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, how does that whole alpha male shit fit into what we're dealing with right now? We're in crisis and it's ineffective. Saying what you are, saying what you want to be, saying, you're stating your leadership policy in two fucking words, alpha male, means absolutely nothing when this community is dying. Our boys out here running wayward and crazy, terrorizing other older black men. So what does that mean right now, alpha male? I don't get it. I'm
It
just confused.
doesn't.
And I hear the things with the personal experiences and dating. And I know I brought that up, but like, I don't see how black men are being alpha right now when women and children are dying left and right. I don't see it. Where's the alpha?
There's no such thing as alpha. It doesn't exist. It's a
I
construct.
agree. I agree. It doesn't exist. It is a construct. It is a construct. But my point being is, like, where's this label coming from right now?
From
It's a
Where's it
men.
coming
distraction.
from? It's a
I think it's a
distraction.
distraction and
It
it's an
It's a
is.
excuse. It's
total
a way.
distraction.
You're right. I agree with you. It is. It's a misnomer. So Tails, get that, throw that shit
Yes,
away.
it is a misnomer. It is a misnomer. There is no such thing as an alpha black male when you're living under the grips of white supremacy, can't self-regulate, and dealing with shit when it comes to black women and children. There's no such thing. So y'all motherfuckers need to let it go. And this is not speaking to my friends on the panel. This is speaking to people that'll come in later on and see that
Wait,
title.
you just broke my heart. You made me feel bad.
But it's a fact. It's a fucking fact. It's a fucking fact.
It
It is a
is. It is.
fact.
It is. It is.
It's a fact. It fucking, you got women. Do you see what's happening in Chicago right now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I live in Chicago.
You do, so you know what's going on.
Oh yeah, it's wild as hell. It's a fucking nightmare here, to be honest.
Could you imagine being a woman, frightened, got like 2 kids, living in an apartment, trying to do the best that she can, navigating them streets right now? Could you imagine that? Without the dude
From a,
around to protect her. Could you imagine that right now in Chicago?
from a woman's perspective, no.
No, from your perspective.
Yeah, it's rough as hell.
Mm-hmm. We're dying.
Unfathomably hard.
We're
Honestly,
dying. We're dying out here on these streets. And like a lot of people, have kicked me off of their panels or, said that I was too loud or too abrasive or too vocal about it. But I am very frightened for the rates of these women and children out here on these streets in our community.
Did her
you
mic go
just
out?
went. You just your mic just went. Kels, your mic is on mute.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm all over here like, rah! Black women are dying, rah! Right? But I'm serious about that. Like, there's a serious thing happening right now where black women are dying, literally 200% at the rate of black men getting accosted by police, and not even dying, but just accosted. But dying, black women dying in the hands of a domestic violence situation. 200%. 1,100 black women plus to date have been killed at the hands of their black male counterparts. So these are the reasons why I'm trying to understand like what the deal is with what's the topic about, y'all? Alpha malehood.
But
What
see,
is that?
Can I
I
interject real
got it.
quick?
Please.
So this is what I was gonna say. Um, to me, it seems like it's a lot of distractions. It's a lot of people throwing in a lot of different points, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people arguing. But like when I came to the consciousness community, and came here to understand what's going on and get a pulse on everything, I come from the perspective of Chicago, like you said. So I came from a place where, to me, black on black crime is very prevalent. I'm more likely to
Mm-hmm.
get killed and shot by somebody that looks just like me in my own neighborhood. And
Right.
most of the time that you always out here, you always strapped up, you always got guns on you, you always ready to rock and roll, you always looking around. Like it's a completely different mentality than some of these other
Mm-hmm.
places. When you try to explain this to people in the black community, like on this YouTube platform or whatever, people, if you start telling them what Chicago is like and what kind of problems you face, oh, he's lying. My city's not like that and everything else like that. This is the same outcry that happens when you hear these kids saying, I don't want to go to school. They say, I don't want to go to school because they getting jumped. They getting shot. They getting forced to join GD. If they don't join
Right.
GD, they get
Right.
harassed every day. They cry to their parents. They cry
Right.
to the people in the community. They don't do shit about it. And when they don't do shit about it and they have to live like this, they get down with it. So then the next thing you know, we have this drill music. And that's another form of outcry telling you that, hey, this guy killed my cousin. So we went back and we killed their cousins and we killed their brothers. And this is the thing that's going on. And when you try to tell people about this, like I was on Taz's show, Taz the GOAT, I'll try to tell this whole community about that. They're talking about some, no, Chicago ain't like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? This is where I live. I get up out of my house every day and go to work. And this is the reality. I've worked right down the street at Washington Park from O Block. So I'm sitting over here like, what the fuck are they talking about? I'm outside. I'm in the community. I don't have a choice. Working for a community center like that, I didn't have a choice. I had no choice but to be around that element. So therefore, I was able to see everything that happened. I grew up in a family that worked through that whole community system. So therefore, I grew up in a household where we always worked around the Park District. We always seen what was going on in Chicago. I got an opportunity to see what the gang culture was like, how all these men had went away to jail, and when they went away to jail, the kids was left with the moms to raise the household. So they went out into the streets and tried to get the money. They ended up getting shot. They ended up getting put in jail. There was all those different problems, but nobody wanted to talk about that. They wanted to push the problem to another thing. Oh man, we need more leaders like Martin Luther King, or we need another Malcolm X, or no man, that's not really that bad in Chicago. You know, I live in Chicago, but they're not saying that they live in Schaumburg. They're not saying that they live in Wicker Park. They're not saying that they not really living on the South Side where this shit is happening at. These people are not telling you that they don't actually live in Chicago. They live in like New York, and they was only here for like 2 years or something like that. And they telling you from their personal experience versus somebody that's grew up in this and had to go to high school, had to go into a school where everybody's wearing the same colors as prison, where you got on a white tee and a black pair of pants, and everybody is looking to rob the next person that got the newest pair of shoes. Hell, sometimes it didn't even matter if you had a smile on your face, you got robbed. So this is what Chicago is. And people don't want to listen to that. They don't want to hear it. And then when you try to tell them that and you try to give that outcry, you're immediately met online with he's lying. He's telling a story. That's not true. Black on black crime is not the issue. We need to talk about these police and all this other shit. But what they not talking about is this dynamic. And they're acting like it's an isolated incident where, well, even if it does exist, that's only Chicago. But if I look on the news or I look through articles, I'm seeing that's happening in Houston. I'm seeing that happens in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm seeing that that's happening everywhere we are at. And people want to act like that is not the issue and that's not the problem. That's not what we should be fighting against. But we hear about all these alpha males. We hear about all these black prolific leaders that teach Hebrew Israelite studies, people that's teaching Nation of Islam, this and that. But at the same time, the problems continue to consist generation after generation after generation. And yet, if you bring that up, you a hater, you a coon, you any kind of appetite they can come up with at the time. I'm so tired of that particular scenario and that particular issue. If you try to tell them that the only way to beat the system is to actually, I don't know, become the best at it and then dominate it, just like how when the Irish came here, they did the same damn thing. They don't want to hear that. The excuse is that no matter what you do, that can never work. So we need to do separation. But then if you start talking about, hey, we need to separate from these people and let's go over here, there's an excuse for that. And then we can never just unite on any particular front. Or we can't even get a group together that decides to go ahead and go through with this and use it as an experiment. There's always something in the way.
Can I interject?
He
Can I
is
interject?
right. He is
Sir.
right. He is
Yes,
right about
yes.
I
that.
would love. I gotta interject because I gotta support what you just said. I'm gonna tell you now, right? I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. A lot of what you said, I got triggered because I grew up in those same type of environments. I can relate to what you just said. Another thing, because now I relocated to I'm out here in Florida, but I was driving a Lyft, right? I picked up this young dude. This dude had to be about 19 years old. And so, me and him conversation. He tells me he's from Chicago, right? I was
Mhm.
like, Chicago, man. I was like, is you from Chicago? I was like, yo. So I asked him straight up. I was like, yo, I hear everything in the news, and I'm not questioning if it's real or not. I'm asking from your perspective, how's Chicago for you? And he told me straight up, he said, man, listen, it was crazy. He said he few of his homie got shot. He actually one of his homies literally got shot next to him. Like he watched his homie die.
Yeah.
From that moment, his parents got him out and moved him out here to Florida. And when he told me that what happened, I told him, bro, your parents saved your life. Cause and he's like, I know, cause I was next.
Yeah.
I
That's true.
I don't I don't need one thing about me is this. I don't watch the news. I don't watch what other people say because shit gets sensationalized. I like to be on the ground with the people that's from there and around it. That's who I'd rather talk to. So I was never that one person that's going around saying, "Oh, that's Chicago shit ain't as real as they saying it is," because shit, I was living in North New Jersey and a lot of that same shit was going on. especially when the time where Crips and Bloods started coming to our neighborhoods, you know, and you can go to this particular project because all them niggas outside waiting for a person who don't look right to go through that area. So when you said what you said, I felt it because I lived a lot like that, just not on the same levels because I think Chicago is on a different level than most places outside. So now let's go to what here's the issue with black on black violence, right? Here's why I don't like that term, right? Because if you put all the Asians in a community, right, take away their resources, you take away their opportunity to get out, you put guns and drugs into their areas, what do you think they're gonna do? The same shit that's happening in Chicago or any other place in the hood. It's not the color, the issue. It's literally the system that's created to put us and make when you go in these environments, make you because you rep this gang, you rocking this color, you're my enemy. That's the issue. Is the system that taught that. Everybody like to use this term crabs in the bucket, right?
Barrel.
But
Yep.
no one wants to talk about why the fuck crabs are in the bucket in the first place. Crabs are not meant
Hmm.
to be in the bucket. They're meant to be in the sea, in the water, swimming on the sand. Where on the sand? Are they pulling people back and preventing them from going in the water or going out the water? Are they holding people back? No, they're living free. So you got to change the environment and you got to address the environment that creates that. And when it comes to the whole alpha male, I'm with y'all under that. Because when it comes to what's really going on, that alpha male don't mean shit. It don't really mean shit because at the end of the day, I'm out here in Florida. It was a major little girl, not little girl, a young girl case that that was missing that ended up found dead out here in Orlando. And that was a big case that was out here that she was missing for weeks. The, and it was a little college girl. And it hit me more home because a lot of people I know that's in the Caribbean community that's out here, I know them. Her father is actually a DJ that's well known, and she was going to school over at UCF. And what happened was there was a dude that was working in the apartment she's staying in that really liked her, whatever. And but he was harassing her and doing all these things. He ended up getting a key because there's a master key that the people who's a super have. And somehow he's able to get a key to enter her apartment room. And from that moment, she was never found. She went missing, and she was ended up found in dead not too far from her apartment in the woods. And before they found her, they questioned him because they want to know because they know that he was the last person to enter her apartment. He was the last person that that had the keys and had everything. So they questioned him, but the cops let him go for some reason, and he went and killed himself.
Hmm.
So there's a major issue that's going on out here. And for me, she was 19 years old. I have a 10-year-old daughter. I think about my daughter with these situations. I think about all of that. And to me, at the end of the day, the real issue is that we got to start figuring out we got to start looking at ourselves. This is why I talk about healing so much because all I see is unhealed trauma, unhealed trauma. When you talk about Chicago, unhealed trauma. When Kells are talking about domestic violence and women being killed at 200%, unhealed trauma, unhealed trauma. I see unhealed trauma everywhere. And
Yeah.
until we start to figure out the roots of what's going on inside, shit ain't gonna change. No matter how much we can resurrect Malcolm X and Martin Luther King from the dead. It won't change a goddamn shit what's going on until people start looking inside and figure out what the fuck the problem is.
I have the unpopular opinion on that. A lot of people ain't gonna want to hear that, but I'm gonna say it right now. I think that as men, we have to hold other men accountable. Like when we see
Oh,
something going wrong and we see some fucked up shit, When we see somebody selling drugs on the corner, when we see somebody killing somebody, or we know somebody that's in the neighborhood who's a known shooter, we got to do something about that shit. Like, we can't just sit there and allow that to continue to fester, allow that wheel to continue to perpetuate. We have to stop it. We have to hold them accountable. When somebody in the community is giving us promises saying that they're going to change our life for the better, and it's 10 and 20 and 30 years down the line, we got to call their ass out and say they're not doing it. And we got to replace them with somebody that can. Because the thing is again, men not holding other men accountable. We holding on to some ancient, archaic way of living, saying that you don't worry about what another man is doing and what he's doing in his household. And I say, fuck that. That is the problem now. That is the whole issue of why we got to where we are now. Not caring about what the other man is doing. What the other man is doing is extremely important, because the other man is the community. You are the individual. So the thing is you need to take care of all the other people by holding them accountable. They do something fucked up. They do something out of line. They're doing something to bring us down. We need to bring them out, and we need to hold them accountable, and we need to bring justice to them. That's what I believe.
And when you know a man is a woman beater, you guys need to show up for that. When you know that somebody that you know who is your boy, and there's a domestic violence situation, y'all need to show up for that, because it is so problematic in our community at this point. Entirely problematic. 1,100 plus black women dead since January to date at the hands of domestic violence, brothers. And I know for a fact that, you guys know somebody that even knows somebody. Even if you don't know them directly, y'all gotta do that alpha shit that we've been talking about right now. This is where the alpha shit comes in. And grab y'all's aspect of the community, yank them up and be like, stop. Because you got women and kids dying out here, and it's bad. And there's,
Kels,
what?
I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get to the root of your issue, and it's about alpha male and black community, right? I can't hear you. Kels, I can't hear you.
All right. I said yes, and
And my question is, what do you want to see?
I want to see black men come together and hold their lessers accountable for the terrorism that they're inflicting on the women and the children right now, because it's bad. It is so bad. It is so bad. You know what the biggest crime right now is in our community? Do you know what it is? Black
Black
women.
men not stand for black women.
No. Black men who've impregnated black women, and those black women who are pregnant with their children are turning up dead. That's a problem.
All right, so now here's the thing,
Okay.
right?
Talk to me about it.
All right, so here's the thing, right? You it's you gotta look when you're telling. I'm all for I hold people accountable because at the end of the day, I don't associate with anybody that I know. There's nobody I know of that hits women, right? If I did know of them, I would correct them and our friendship will end. When it comes to domestic situation, it's always a tough thing, right? Like, but the tough goes out the window when they end up dead. Because the murder is that's crossed the line. That becomes that's crossing the line all the way. I feel like whenever a domestic situation relationship, everything can be disputed, debated until someone ends up dead. Then that's where the line gets crossed, right? What I could say is this: is that as for me as an individual, is this: I'm a part of a male group of men that comes together and have conversations, have real conversations. I'm part of that collective. where men we get
But what do
together.
you do? What do you do with that, Dr. Love Jones? Like you've
We,
got this conglomerate of black men that,
we speak on issues.
but
We
you
speak
speak
on
on issues, but how do you bring that out to fix things to help?
yeah, but
Do you do
gotta
that?
look at it as this, right? You gotta look at this from a male's perspective, right?
I'm
Can,
listening.
if a man is beating his wife, right, and we know about it, we can deal with it, right? We would deal with it the way we need to deal with it, however we need to deal with it.
So why don't you guys build institutions that are locally, statewide, and nationally to help correct black men deal with their issues in regards to this problem? Because it is a national problem. You know what I'm saying? And if you brothers are out there that are willing to do it, I don't understand why there's no effort into doing that. It's more, you know what, the blame is usually placed on the woman for not choosing better. And I feel like black men ain't gonna listen to black women when it comes to this. But there are some black men that understand the plight, strong, alpha male black men who will come out there and create some institutions for you guys to like get the emotional healing necessary so that this doesn't keep happening. You know, they ain't gonna listen to us. So we need men like you to
But
do
here's
this
the
on a
thing.
broader scale.
But know what? I'm gonna tell you why men don't listen to some black women, and I can tell you now, there's some black women I know that when they speak, men listen to. Drug dealers, criminals of all. I can't agree with that fully. What I can say is this, right? Healing starts with yourself. We always want to tell other people to heal and do the healing work, but we as individuals neglect ourselves, right? I can hear the hurt in your voice, right? That's unhealed trauma that I'm hearing I'm hearing this in your voice. I can't see you. I
Because
can't see your picture.
I
No, no, no.
work with sisters, I work with women, I work with organizations with black women, and we're literally dying out here in the
I
name of alpha maleism.
That's not in the name of alpha maleism, and that's
That's
where
me being poetic. It's me being
yeah.
poetic.
Oh, okay,
Right,
gotcha,
right.
gotcha. But what
Okay.
I'm saying is that that's but there's a problem. That's where it comes down to. As a person, I do coaching and stuff. I need to be coached. Therapists need therapists. Counselors need counselors. Just because the fact that you're talking and you're dealing with this and you're dealing with this on base ground level, that shows what's happening is that trauma is being transferred to you and you're carrying on that energy.
No, that trauma is in me because I've dealt with it.
That
It's
part,
not
okay.
because it's transferred.
No,
I've
but
dealt
okay,
with it.
so it's a
And I'm
mixture of
trying to
both.
help my sisters out. But
Hold up.
what I've learned in the game of like trying to correct the entire situation with all of this toxicity between black men and black women is that there's only so much I can do. I can help black women find themselves, realize themselves in the small bits that I do. You know, I'm not a life coach, I'm not a therapist, but I do some work and I hope that like every sister that I reach, I affect. You feel what I'm saying? But what is happening on the other end of it so that this shit stops happening with these brothers out here? Because I know black men have trauma and they're dealing with shit, but they're not processing it, and we're getting the brunt end of it and suffering behind it. Hence the high rates in homicide and domestic violence that supersede shit in other racial communities. You know what I'm saying? I can't do anything about that. So, what I'm asking is that for all of those males who subscribe to alpha maleism, Or the males who see that as being a fraud kind of like step up and do something with these men and create a national landscape of assistance so that we could stop fucking dying out here, man. It's real out here. It's fucking real, but nobody wants to listen
So
to me about that.
No,
all
But
no,
right,
no.
I
so
digress.
hold up. I,
I
I
hear
hear
you
you, but
wholeheartedly.
hold up. I gotta
Because
point out
what
something.
what I'm saying
Hold
is
up.
this. Because
Tito,
Kels
Tito,
made a
Tito,
point. Wait.
Tito,
Kels made a
Tito.
point. Kels made a point. We're not hearing her. We're hearing each other. And what Kels is saying is this. There's a real alpha male who wants to defend black women. Where is he?
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing that I want to point out. The fact that you saying we are dying out here is the transference of energy that you're feeling. And I'm talking to you because I want you to understand that the words you say have power, and how you transcribe it is how you're dealing with processing the pain. So when you say we're dying out here, you see yourself in these victims of these women. You see yourself.
Of
You,
course
hold
I
up, hold up,
do.
hold up, and
No,
that's
it's not transference, Dr. Love Jones. It's reality. Of
no, 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 no,
course
no, no,
I
no.
see it.
It's somebody else's reality. It's not yours. What
Why
happened
is
to
it?
some?
Oh,
Hold up,
fuck,
hold up, hold up,
serious?
hold up.
Wow, okay.
Okay, here's what here's I'm having a conversation. I'm not attacking you. I'm just pointing out something for you to think about that has something to do with what you can do for yourself. Because at the end of the day, as a man, I got to do the healing work so I can make sure I talk to these brothers and do the healing. Because men can see trauma within men and they can see bullshit too. So if you want me to come and talk to these men, I got to do the healing work. But as a woman, I'm telling you too that while you're trying to help these women that you helping, you got to help yourself in the process, because that's the healer in you that's doing this, is screeching out, is your heart. Your heart is heavy from these situations that's dealing with it. And that's grief that you have inside of you. I can hear it. It's grief.
You,
And
it's
what I'm
it's it's
telling you,
literally it's literally a public health crisis. It's not just me grieving over things
no, I'm
personally.
not, but
It's literally a public health crisis.
okay, so you're grieving over the health crisis. I'm not minimizing your grief. You're saying you're minimizing your own grief. I'm not minimizing it. I'm saying this is a real thing. So how do you deal with it, right? Because because here's the reality of this situation,
Oh,
right?
here's the reality. Okay, I'm listening.
You know what?
No, I'm
I
listening.
digress. I
No, go ahead. I'm
digress.
listening. I'm putting my mic on mute. Go.
What I'm what I'm saying is this, right? The situation is this. You're dealing with unhealed people. Unhealed people hurt will affect other healed people, and they become unhealed, and it becomes an unhealed society. What I'm saying to you is this. You're dealing with these cases. You're hearing these stories. You're subscribed to this. I'm not going to tell you that what you're seeing is wrong. I'm not telling you nothing of that sort. What you're seeing and feeling, you see yourself in these situations. What I'm telling to you is this. As real and as understanding I feel with this, going forward is not healthy. When you start to see yourself in every toxic, murderous case that you're dealing with, you're attaching yourself, your emotions, your vibrations to those situations. And that is not healthy for you.
Okay, I can understand what you're saying within the context of somebody that only gets their information from social media, but
All right.
when you have to look at these kids who lost their mama in their eyes, it's a whole different story. It's not about how I am attaching any trauma that I have into the situation. It's about what the reality is of the situation And when you keep seeing it again and again and again, divorce, because these are not situations that even I, despite my own trauma, I can't relate to because they're so extreme. But what I see is the aftermath. So, what I want you to tell me, Dr. Love Jones, is this: how do I deal with that? How do I deal with the aftermath of the death and the babies left behind with no parents because mommy is dead and daddy is in jail? Tell me how I fix that. And what is the alpha male solution to correct what's happening in the community right now outside of finding space in internet spaces and, you know, self peace and self awareness with some kind of like edifying meme? I don't know. But when I see these kids left behind, tell me what I'm supposed to do about that. Asking.
Can I say something?
Sure, Tito.
Because you're right. As black men, we are not there on the front line fighting for black women's lives.
That's right.
We're not doing that. We're not being the superheroes that we're supposed to be. And it's wrong. And I get what you're coming from now. I really do. Because you're asking the question about, if you're alpha male, where are you for the black woman? And we're not there. Collectively, we're not there.
And I'll say this, Tito: the black men that I do see who are on those lines, they're called simps.
And let them be called simps. I don't care what they call them. I don't care what label they have. But you're right. There's no, I don't want to say men.
Who's calling? Wait, hold up. But who's calling them simps?
Any black man who sits down and says, "Hey, baby, you're right. Hey, I will do what you want me to do. I will bring in the groceries."
No.
I'll answer your
Not talk.
question. You're asking directly. Is there a news article or a specific post that called these men simps? No. But when my friends who are there with me out there on these lines, who are men, and they talk about what they do get like blowback on it. Fuck these black bitches. Fuck them. I see it all the time. All the time. You a simp. And it could be the most horrendous crime that we're dealing with in the moment, and they post that shit on social media. I see it all the time. So if you wanted to ask that question, Dr. Love Jones, there's your answer. You know, like, I think you're fantastic. I think you're beautiful with your children, your daughter. I don't know if you have extra children, but like, I think you're great with your daughter. And you're beautiful, you're very thoughtful. But there is something happening in our community right now where women and children are dying. Black men are not giving a fuck, and it's celebrated. And then, within the context of all of this, there's this alpha male persona that has sprung up. See, this conversation was a lot deeper than I guess it was a trap, you know. But what I believe is that black men see what's happening with black women and black children in the community. And then there's two options. There's fight or flight, right? Many of them, flight. They choose that. They choose to go to white girls or disparage us or tell us that we're not worth it because they don't believe that they can fight against all the tools of oppression that are placed literally on black women and children that they do not want to acknowledge and they're afraid of because they can't protect us from it, you know? But then you have a couple that fight, but those dudes they get called simps and whatnot. And I got friends that
See,
are called simps with like huge podcasts that have to deal with this nonsense. And they're amazing men. So talk to me in the
see,
process of everything. Everything
I
that's going on. Black men feeling all this shit with depression and problematic stuff. You better believe your women and children are dying harder behind you. Behind you. It's real. And there's data to support it. All right, so go ahead. What you gonna say?
what's important for when we have these conversations, right? Commonality, right? We all got to have a point of agreement we have to get to a point of agreement because we're not going to agree on every single thing. Not to say we're going to disagree because not agreeing and disagreeing are two different things. Um, but we're not going to agree on everything, but we got to be able to get to a point where we at least have an understanding point. And what I'm trying to get to you is this, right? I don't give a fuck who opinion said. Everybody is something to somebody, right? If I say I'm sitting here right now and I'm talking about this, and somebody's in your comments saying I'm condescending, right? Somebody typed out I'm condescending, which I have
Yes.
not been condescending at all. If I have, please tell me.
Oh, there it is, Sable Dude.
Yes.
Well,
Am
you
I
ain't been talking about me.
hold up. There's a point that I'm making. I'm not picking that out because I feel offended or I feel away about it. But that's a bigger point to what I'm saying is that whenever you're doing something, somebody who don't like it will speak negatively on it quickly because that's what they gravitate to. So there's naturally when a man is helping a woman on a situation, they're being called simps. That's because there are men who look at women. I mean, there are some males that look at men who are doing help or supporting women. They're simps. I don't agree with that, but I also understand that some things just come with the territory of what you're doing. Should it be right? No. But there's negatives and positives in everything. I don't subscribe to the negative on every little thing. I focus on the positive of what I can focus on. The thing is that the things that we all have to understand is when we're dealing with everything is this. Oh, for say Sable dude, we've given answers. It's not an answer that she wants, and that's I can't. I'm not a perfect person. I can't always give the right answer for everything. It's not that we're dodging her question. We're having a discussion. So if there's something I'm saying, if she asks a question and I'm giving a perspective, I'm giving my answer to her question, it may not be the right answer. I'm not trying to be right here. I'm trying to have dialogue. So the point that I want to point out to this whole situation is this, because at this point now, alpha male is out the window. I don't know why we still reference alpha male because it's so far not an alpha male talk. I think what it comes down to is that I can't tell you. I don't know what region you are. I don't know what region your situation is. I don't know. All I can do is this. When I when I talk to when I talk to people in my community, when I talk to people that I'm connected with, we're not we're doing the work on ourselves. We're just starting. We're looking to expand and help other men. We're not just sitting here just basing this on just being a few of us and doing this. We're looking to do what you're asking us to do. We're looking to expand and help. And hopefully this takes off and we can do more and help the men that's out there. As a man, I was raised around women. I have a daughter. As you know, I defend women. I would defend women all the time. And I'm not, and if one thing I have not done here is mention any issue men deal with, because I understand the hurt and what you're dealing with within your own situation. So this is not a deflection here. I'm not talking about me. But point that I want to point out to you is this: the most important thing you can do for yourself is be the best version of who you are.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, and I am the best version of who I am.
Can
But
I
I'm
can I
literally
inject?
out. I am. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I dig what you're saying, and I am the best version of myself that I can be. I'm fucking fantastic. But I'm literally out here burying women and children at the hands of domestic violence. How am I supposed to be okay with that?
I
How?
never say you got to be okay with it.
No.
Can I jump in real quick
Go ahead.
because I I support Kels when she put up that young girl missing in Brooklyn. I reached out to my cousin, who's a female, to help go find this young girl, and they found that young girl alive. I'm right or wrong?
Correct. We put work in.
Yeah. So I help on the sideline, but she's asking who is that alpha male helping black women. That's her ultimate question, I believe.
But now, who in here has a question answer to that question? Because it's a generalized question. I
It
can
can be
only be.
generalized.
It's a
It can be
very generalized
generalized.
question. But my
But
point
You
is
know what? Let
this.
me wrap it up real quick because it's this is live. It's going on longer than I expected. But my question really wasn't. What I wanted to point to was the fact that the conscious community points to this alpha male ideology, but it literally does nothing to keep women and children safe. Literally. And I guess all in all, this is a call for me on my little channel with my very few but wonderful subscribers to like come out and let's activate ourselves as a community so that we can fix these things. But we need to get rid of that ideology that there's this black alpha shit happening when it serves
Right,
no one but the individual that wants to call themselves that.
right.
What the fuck is a black alpha? What the fuck is an alpha male in the black community?
Nothing.
It means absolutely nothing. When we have so many things going on, we've got so many talents out here that can pull people together doing basic. I have a friend named Tim, he's a Black Panther out here in Brooklyn. He does walkthroughs in the community just so that the kids know that they got an OG in the hood to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Just very basic things like that we can do. You feel what I'm saying? And I would really like us to get to that point and ignore these weirdos with their ideologies of what a man is supposed to be, and let's just work on what a man is supposed to be doing. And it's not even that complicated. Just be there. Just show
But
up. You
all
know what
right,
I'm
so
saying?
all right, so here's the point out, because this is where I'm, and here's the point that I want to make. Point that I want to point out. You've been on live for 2 hours and 33 minutes, right? And we're still talking about alphas, even though we've all agreed that the alphas don't matter.
They don't exist, but I'm trying to bring everything to a culmination given the title of the show. Do you
No, I get
understand?
it.
Okay.
No, I get it.
All
I
right,
just think
cool.
that from after this conversation, we shouldn't talk about that again. Not to, unless you want to bring it up for discussion basis. I'm not trying to tell you what you do with your show. I'm not trying to do that.
Nah, you good. You good. You good.
Yeah. But what I want to make sure, I just want to make sure, so I don't want nobody call me. I'm tell me I'm condescending. But
That
no,
part
but
I can't promise, but you're good
no,
here.
I
Go.
can't promise that either. But I just want to. But no, but what I would say is this: is that The most important thing you could do. First off, I know you was in Brooklyn. My dad is in Brooklyn, by the way, so I'll be in Brooklyn time to time.
Oh, what part of Brooklyn?
East New York.
I live in East New York, darling.
My sister lives out there too.
I'm in the East.
Nice. That's what's up. No, but yeah, I think it's important that we all get together as men and women. Hear pains of our women, women hear pains of the men. We heal when we heal ourselves, we heal each other. And as we heal, we walk through those different areas. Now knowing where you're at, I could understand much better what you're doing with. Honestly,
Now you get it, right? You
I get
see,
it much
yeah.
better.
All right, cool.
I get it much better. So it's important for all of us to look at. So that's why environments matter, because those environments breed toxicity like it's nothing, and it breeds these type of environments where men are unhealed, and a lot of times domestic violence happens because it's a lot of built up tension and frustration within that person based off whether unhealed things that happen within that person, and then it just explodes and express on the wrong person. So one thing I want to we got to start doing is start having conversations like this. Conversations is important. I'm pretty sure you feel a lot better you got this stuff out than you did had you not done this channel, had you not done this live. Is
I just want. You're right. I do, and I think that men like you are extremely important. Extremely important in the healing process, but we need like some other men in like the drop squad process to collect these dudes up and then like put them in a rehabilitation facility and then have someone like you come and help them with the healing process because it's so bad. It is so bad out here. It is so bad.
well, well, I can understand that. I think me personally, I can't. I know my roles, so and I know where. And you're right. I'm that guy to go and heal. Now we need to find the drop squad.
Yeah, we need to find the muscle for it. We need to find the muscle to snatch him up. Like, there's a situation. What I would love is like if we had like this interconnected network where you have like a black family or a black family like situation and they had a hotline to call and we could come and handle it. And we have like social workers, psychologists, fucking Marines, but it was the Navy SEALs or whatever to handle like really aggressive dudes or whatnot. Like something like that. Like if we could get something like that together so that we can create these like foundations to heal, process, give people self-awareness. That would be so ideal to me, but I know that we're so far removed from that. And I think that's what hurts me more than anything. Because believe it or not, I know you guys might think that I'm anti-man or whatever, but I'm going to do a show about chicks that lack self-awareness and who are violent because they're problematic too. I'm going to do that too. But I just wish that we had some kind of network that we could put all of our resources together to fix us, without the state, because the state, they be fucking with us. They be taking our kids sometimes unnecessarily just for numbers and money. And parents, they be taking them up too just for numbers and money, But if we could just build this like righteous community conglomerate where it's all in-house and it's all like a whole entire tiered process of healing. Oh my God, that would be so wonderful. Am I making sense to anybody right now? If you're in the chat right now, press one if I'm making sense to you. You know,
Yeah.
if
Ooh.
but I just that's what I want to see. So it's not me
Can y'all
hating
hear
on
me?
black men. It's not me hating on nothing. I'm just we are so traumatized, yo. You know what? I want to talk about something else really quickly. I had the displeasure of watching Maury Povich today, right?
Can y'all hear me? Check audio.
Oh, check my
Hey.
audio. How's it now? Is it
Good.
better? Is it
It's good.
good? All
That's
right.
great.
All right. So I had the displeasure of watching Maury Povich. And you
Was
know,
it an old show or a new show?
it was a that's this he's still on the air, bro. He is
He's still
still
on the
on the
air?
air. He is still on the air making black people look stupid. Yes. So I watched Maury, and it was like a young girl and some dude. There was a paternity question. She was like, "Yeah, he's my baby daddy." And he was like, "Nah, I'm not. Fuck that bitch." Ah. And regardless of the results, what troubled me the most was the fact that they had sex and built that much animosity and had a potential child.
Right.
That was enough for me. I didn't care about anything else outside of that. And the fact that Maury's got like well over 5,000 episodes of situations like that. And what does that say about where we're going as a community? How is that growing? You know?
Um,
Elizabeth?
Kels, just
Yeah,
bring it to a close. Do you mind if I ask you a question real quick?
sure.
After all the conversation you heard tonight, where do you still see that question? What the fuck is the alpha male? What do you stand at now?
What I stand at right now is I think the alpha male thing is a band aid for men to feel like, black men to feel like they're powerful in a dynamic where they have no power.
And going forward, what would you like to see?
I'd like to see black men putting positive energy and power into building up black men that don't have it.
Don't have what?
That power to build and heal the community. That's what I would like to see.
Okay.
Black men need to take care of black men and get black men right. That's what I would like to see. Because as black women, we can't do it. We can't. We tried. It don't work. Y'all gotta do it. Y'all gotta do it. Y'all gotta make it happen.
And do you see the problem with black men?
Do I see what?
The problem with black men working
What?
together.
Um, I think that's for you guys to figure out. That's not for me to figure out. You feel?
I
If
feel
there's yeah, if there's a problem, then you guys need to figure out what that problem is and fix it so we can make it better. So all of these like young girls, these young, beautiful, brilliant, scared, frightened, wanting to be loved, fertile women aren't scared of y'all because they're scared of y'all right now. Gen Z, these black girls coming up in Generation Z are fucking scared of black men. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Why is that?
History, experience, media, what their black male counterparts their age say to them.
I have a daughter, and now she's a teacher.
How old is she?
Wow, she's 30?
She married?
No,
Why?
because I raised her to. Her thing is her thing. It's her sanctuary, and for her man to be with her, he has to love her first. Matter of fact, she went to East Carolina University, and the first dude to try to hit up on her was a famous running back, Chris Johnson. And she said he was so dumb he couldn't do anything with her. She was like, I can't even be with him because he's not as smart as you are. So she refused to be with him.
All right. Okay.
I got two sons.
Okay.
I got two sons. And both of them are making sure they hold their own jobs. Got one in college, one at his own. He's running his own business. Mm-hmm. But these are things that we're trying to do for the black community.
Hold up. Thanks, HM. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. But it's like I'm trying to figure out what when Kel says, "What the fuck is an alpha male?" That is the end question for everything we're talking about right now tonight. And I'm guessing we have not even answered that question for her.
Well, I answered the question. It's just that
No. For her, not for you. You gave her an answer.
But hold up. But this is the point that I was trying to make earlier. I can only give an answer from what I know. I can't speak on what I don't know. Anything. So I gave an so when you say we have an answer, we answered it. It's just not a question answer that she's accepted.
Not acceptance is not the issue. It's about what her conclusion is. Did we fulfill the answer? Even though we gave conclusions, did it fulfill her answer? And I don't want to let her go until I can fulfill that. If it's not fulfilled, then we've lost. Are we looking for a black Superman to be the leader of a movement to say, hey, look, a black woman needs to be protected and go out here and do everything that a black man should do that we're not doing, in her opinion? As the alpha, what is that? Even though we say it's a misnomer, but that's the question of the topic. The topic is, what the fuck is an alpha male? Have we even come to that conclusion to say that, yes, there is one, no, there is not one, and then how do we move forward?
We did come to that conclusion. There's no such thing as an alpha male.
So how do we move forward?
No, what we need to do as a community is like kind of split, and we need black men to use their power to affect other black men in change. And that might be in, psychological help. Oh, dang it. Sorry.
That's your man calling in. We gotta go.
I gotta go. But, is it psychological help or, whatever it might be? But you guys, the alpha maleness, the power, the prowessness, the things that y'all have to do doesn't come from criticizing what black women do or, criticizing what the government does. Not at least at this point. Right now, we got to get to this very base level of coming together. And brothers like y'all with the insight and the intellect need to connect and get with more brothers like y'all and help fix the situation. Because, like I said, the women and children are dying out here. It's dire. It's a dire situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I gotta say. So on that note, because y'all heard the phone ring, and I said I had to go.
Yeah, it's your man.
Anyways, I definitely it's time for me to get going. So I
it's
appreciate
super
this
late.
conversation.
I appreciate it too. Please, Dr. Love Jones, come back. I do appreciate you, Tito. I appreciate you, all the time for coming through. So,
Well, give me a wrench.
oh, let me give you both a wrench. Type something in the comments so I can give you both wrenches.
And
All right.
which chat? The StreamYard or the Facebook?
The YouTube chat.
YouTube.
Put it in the YouTube because I can't do it on. I'm gonna give like everybody a wrench that showed up. Fuck it. Let's see. Oh, it's so funny. Ah, look at my little. That thumbnail is funny as hell. All right. Okay, so Sable do you, sis? Sable do you want a wrench? Type a yes if you a one or a yes if you want one. I'll give you one.
I said yo.
I got you. So your job, give me my wrench. I'll give you a wrench too. So you guys, your job is to, if anybody comes up in here and wants to talk smack about me, you just boot them the hell out. Fuck them.
So I got a question. How do I know when you're going online? What do I need to do?
There's a bell, I think, somewhere for notifications.
Okay, let me click on that.
Yeah, go to my channel and there's a bell or something. I'm still working this YouTube shit out. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm still trying to figure it out. You feel me?
One thing I will help you promote your channel because you're trying to do a good thing, and I appreciate it. Because you like my sister, you like my sister, so
I appreciate you. Okay, Sable, do I made the mistake of like I think I'm like
you blocked Sable. You blocked.
Yeah, I paused. I like did that.
Good
I'm
job.
I'm still learning stuff, but I
Good
still
job.
gave you a wrench though. You still got a wrench. Sis, you got a wrench. I hit you twice, but you got a wrench. There you go. So anyway, thank you and good night, everyone. Tito, thank you for rolling through. I appreciate you every time. Dr. Love Jones, I hope I will see you again. This is probably going to be my most intense conversation, maybe. I don't know yet.
Hey,
I'm not going. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
I don't know.
I know it's not gonna be intense like this every week.
No,
I got you.
not at all, not at all. But this is just me trying to understand what the hell an alpha male is. Like I'm seeing it in dating profiles, and these dudes, when I talk to them, they don't get it. They don't get what it means to build and grow and support and protect, and it's very unfortunate. So
question them.
I do all the time. That's why they get blocked most of the time. But love y'all.
All right, Reverend Jones.
All right, peace, Tito.
Good night, everyone, and thank you for coming through to Kel's Lab. I love my geniuses.
Y'all be safe.
Peace, y'all.
One love.